that's what it is. It's a diversity of so many different stories that we have happening in our city that we just don't have no idea about.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
Really looking forward to catching up with my next guest is Rauni Barros Da Silva, a filmmaker from Oxford, and is doing something rather interesting with a group of films that are going to be shown at the Phoenix Picturehouse later on this week. Rauni, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Well, first and foremost, let's dive into the Oxford Anthology, because this is a group and a culmination of 9 films, I believe, which are celebrating the diversity and the culture and the richness of Oxford.
Yes, correct. That's right. We've made 9 short films just to like bring the community of filmmakers together here in the city, as well as borrowing some of our neighboring friends from the local areas. So it's been a really, really good, exciting project that's happened over this last year.
Yeah, and just watching the teaser trailer that you sent us, there's a lot of sort of similarities into the reason that we're a local radio station, and also the reason of these films existing. Essentially, that we love our city, and there's so many stories to tell, just showed by this anthology.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's so much, because Oxford is such a diverse city and a county, that there's so many stories to be told, and these are real stories. Regardless of whether you dramatize them or not, there's elements that everyone can relate to in them, and I just think they need to be told.
It's very simple, isn't it, to sort of look at Oxford and to literally go universities, Harry Potter, which I'm pretty sure like everyone sort of visiting and everyone kind of seeing things, I'm more than happy with, but I mean, knowing from myself from living at the top of Cowley Road for many years, for being a student and visiting, the stellar nightclubs and all this kind of stuff. It is an absolute plethora of diversity, of so many incredible and wonderful things. The town and the gown and everything, and I guess it must be sort of cannon fodder for filmmakers, because there is so much that you could focus on or cherry pick and go, oh yeah, I want to focus on that side of things and that side of things.
Yeah, I think especially I think creatives that live in Oxford are extremely lucky to a sense, because it's such a picturesque city. Right. And I think, like literally what you said, there's so much culture and diversity, and you can pick and choose from what aspects you want to tell and represent that. And another point that you touched on is that we have the town and gown. And a lot of people think that when they think of Oxford, it's a very noble upper class city that has all these incredible structures and these incredible buildings, and it's a center of academia. But however, we do have this very much hot pot of culture, just like bubbling up of things that people don't know about Oxford. And this is what the Oxford Anthology is about. Just say we are more than just the academia. We are more than just the buildings. We are a group of people who are extremely talented, extremely creative, and we just want to get our stories out there.
And even that melting pot, creating these. I guess it helps with everything, and I'm trying to sort of hark on my experiences of going to I went to Brookes and was mingling with tons of people from Oxford Uni, was playing sport with Oxford Uni, but then played sport outside of university as well, and then played at events and DJ'd at nights and what have you, and it's all shapes kind of, who you are, what you're interested in, and all this kind of stuff, because you're kind of looking not just through your own eyes at something, but through the eyes of everyone else that kind of lives there, from the upper classes to the lower classes and everything like that. It's a huge melting pot of rich culture. And in terms of these films, I guess, you've got 9 films. I guess you could have had thousands. What can you give us a little snapshot of what the kind of 9 films are kind of looking at?
Yeah. So, sorry. So the 9 films are kind of, they're all a mix and match of different stories. So we've
Yep.
got something from crime drama to comedy, romance, infused with a little bit of dancing. We have a film that focuses on communication, which is about relationship and involves sign language. We've got another film which follows the everyday going ons of a hotel clerk and the kind of deals that he has to issue that he has to deal with some interesting guests from the hotel. Then we have another perhaps relationship that didn't end so well. So there's a plethora of different stories being told, um, and it's that's what it is. It's a diversity of so many different stories that we have happening in our city
Mm.
that we just don't have no idea about. And it's the idea of getting these stories to be told.
Where did your passion and love come from? What is it? Was it an obvious thing of kind of just being surrounded by all of this and going, well, this is fantastic. It's brilliant. There's so much going on here. Where did it start for you?
I think it was a lack of opportunity is where it started, because I think that once I left university, there wasn't, I believe, or I think, looking back, there wasn't so much narrative storytelling being told here
Mm.
from an independent level. It was
Yeah.
much more the bigger productions being brought in, and they were filming here things like Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte and everything else that's been filmed in Oxford. But from an independent perspective, there wasn't really anything happening. And normally, I would have to go to London or Birmingham or Manchester or all these other bigger cities per se to get something done. And so I wanted to bring that community of filmmakers here in Oxford, because we have such an incredible amount of talent, but everyone's working very independently. And so my idea was to grab these individuals and have them collaborate under one umbrella to make these films. So I guess, yeah, it came from a lack of visible opportunity that was happening here. And I just wanted to make a hub for local filmmakers to come together, to work together now and in the future.
Oh, that sounds absolutely brilliant and awesome. And what can people expect from Friday night? Because you kind of did a showing back in July, I believe, and was just kind of looking for feedback and stuff. What can people expect on Friday night heading down?
So from our showing that we had in July, we completely sold out the Curzon Cinema in the Westgate.
Oh,
So that was
amazing.
incredible. And what I got back from it was the amount of laughter that there was, people being sad. Some people said they cried.
Yeah.
So it was a different series of emotions that I'm really happy that I get to, I guess, share with everyone,
Yeah.
because you never know how something's going to affect someone in a certain way. And then just seeing those different reactions or hearing those different reactions was extremely humbling and gratifying for me. So I'm hoping that on Friday night I can get a little bit of the same, and people can leave the cinema feeling a little bit inspired, I guess,
Yeah.
that this is happening here.
And it is inspirational just hearing that from your point of view, just having the foresight just to kind of actually go, okay, well, there's something that's missing here, and you're right. Everyone maybe listening outside the county will just literally just go, okay, Downton Abbey, Bridgerton, Harry Potter, all of this kind of thing, and go, oh, there's loads of films. What are you worried about? There's loads of things happening. But you're absolutely right. Just that independent level, that kind of grassroots, that's what happening day to day, and looking into the lives of that, and that's an amazing thing, and stories that need to be told. And my love of music is exactly the same for you. Probably your love of film is that it can spark those emotions. It can spark those happiness, sadness, take you back to a moment. A song I can think of takes me back to a club 10, 15 years ago, or a band that I saw. And a similar thing with the stories that have been told. So I'm sure that's going to be amazing. Where can people find out a little bit more detail, perhaps, potentially get tickets, come down on Friday? What's the drill?
Yes. So at the moment, we are selling tickets on Eventbrite. I think it's eventbrite.co.uk or
Yep.
.com. I'm actually not sure. But all you have to type in is the Oxford Anthology. Should come up straight away. It's a series of 9 short films. And I'm doing a promo code for 20% off the tickets for anyone who types in Radio 20. So if anybody wants to
Hey,
get
that's
tickets,
good. Hey, that's good. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm applauding that right now. That's a nice little one. That is a little touch. Brilliant
for
stuff.
anyone listening in now, they can get tickets at 20% discount. Just type in Radio 20 on checkout. We're hoping to really get close to selling out by the time that the screening shows.
Sure.
However, if we've not sold out, then we are also accepting tickets on the door.
Awesome stuff. Look, I wish you the best of luck with Friday, and actually going further down the line as well. Definitely keep in touch because I'm sure there's going to be some amazing projects in the future that we're going to want to feature here on Get Radio for sure. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Rauni Barros Da Silva. The Oxford Anthology are going to be taking place at the Phoenix Picturehouse in Jericho on Friday. Cheers for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.